Please excuse my hair as it is currently a mess and I literally just washed it and it's just getting frizzy, probably from this very warm weather, so yep. So if you're here, it's because you are maybe someone who's struggling with language learning. You probably don't believe in your ability to learn, or maybe you're having a hard time learning a language that you are particularly fond of and you're not sure how to go about changing your approach or whether or not you should give up on the language. So my friend, the language is not the problem. The problem really lies within you, and yes, that is what we're going to discuss today. So for those of you who don't know me, and for those of you who do, you know that my name is Ruby, and here I talk about language learning and honestly stuff about mindset as well. I decided to make a video on the law of assumption again here because I know there are a lot of people who actually have come across this video you'll see right here that I made, and they actually look for videos about like using the law of assumption to learn a language, and there aren't really videos out there about that. So I thought I'd make another video about this topic because personally I believe that there is a big connection with that, with just about anything that you desire in your life. So let's jump into it. What can you do to really be successful in your language learning? So I have my laptop here and I'm going to be honest. So first of all, I personally don't believe that language learning is dependent on being smart or gifted or talented, anything like that. Like sure, there are people that are naturally born with those like abilities to learn or be prodigies or whatever, but anyone can learn a language, anyone can learn a skill. It's really just having the desire to do it and also having the self-discipline, not only to like learn a language, but really to do anything that you desire in your life. And the other thing is also the level of belief that you have in yourself and your ability to learn a language. So we all have this thing called a self-concept or self-image of how we see ourselves, how we perceive ourselves, and our abilities to do certain things. So for me, for example, I grew up with the mindset that I'm very smart, I'm very good with school, that I always get excellent grades, and that has been my personal truth and reality because it's what I continue to manifest to this day. I mean, straight A's, 2 semesters at uni, right? And that hasn't changed because I have always believed in my ability to learn. And if it is, for example, a class I really don't care about, I still will do my best to succeed because I don't have to retake the class again. But of course it will be harder for me because that's kind of like a story I've also accepted where it's like, if it's something I really have no like care in the world for, I won't give it the importance that it probably requires. Whereas if it's something that I'm passionate about, like language learning or music, I will put my heart into it. It won't even feel like work because it's just so fun for me, right? So it's really about like, first of all, your belief and how you perceive yourself and your ability to learn a language or any other thing, because I can tell you that when it comes to my self-image in other areas of my life, it's still something that I'm working on improving. But this is one part of my life where I can say, yes, I have confidence in myself and my ability to learn and be successful in language learning. So how can you change your self-concept and your self-image? Well, it really is dependent on the story you tell yourself about yourself. So maybe you're someone who says, oh my god, it's so hard for me to learn a language, I'm too old, my brain is just slowing down, languages are so hard, I've never been successful at school, I've always been bad at learning. Like if you are someone who tells yourself all this, who affirms these type of thoughts and says it throughout the day, that's going to manifest itself into your reality. So instead of doing that, start affirming a new story. Like, let me give you an example from my own personal life. When I started German, I had so many people who would tell me, even German native speakers would tell me, why are you learning German? It's such a hard language. Like, even we struggle. Like, you know, you shouldn't learn. Like, I had so many people discouraging me, telling me that it's difficult. And because I let what they're telling me get to me, I started feeling discouraged, and every time I would study German, I felt discouraged. It just seemed so difficult. I felt like I couldn't grasp it or anything. And then I'm like, wait a minute, but it doesn't have to be this way, because I remember when I was learning French and Italian, even before that, people would say, oh, French is so hard and blah, blah, blah. But it was so easy and effortless for me. Why? Because one, I've always believed in myself and my ability to learn anything I set my mind to. Two, I never entertained the thought of what others said about the French language. Like maybe that was their personal truth or personal reality of how they perceived their approach of learning French, of how like difficult it was for them. But it didn't have to be my truth or my reality. So I didn't even pay any focus to that. And thirdly, like I said, what was my third point? I don't even know what I said. But anyways, it's really about just like how you go about it, right? So then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to focus on what people are telling me. I'm going to do this because I want to, because it's fun. And I have these goals that I'm aspiring to manifest and bring forth into my reality, because on a non-physical level it's already done, but I just have to do whatever I feel inspired to do in order to bring that truth into the physical world, right? So instead of focusing on the story that people would tell me or saying like German is hard, I started telling myself, oh, German is so fun, it's so easy for me to learn languages. Oh my god, I love grammar, because there are a lot of people out there that are also like, oh, grammar's so boring, I hate it, I dread it. I used to be one of those people. I did not look forward to it, but then I started telling myself, oh my god, I love grammar. Grammar's so fun, it's so easy for me. And you guys, guess what? It's so fun, it's so easy for me. And guess what? This weekend on Saturday, I had my first italki lesson with a German native speaker from Berlin, and it was the first time I spoke in German for half an hour. And yes, it wasn't 100% German, but I can say like maybe 80-90% of the time I actually did speak in German. Of course, if it was something complex, I couldn't, because I'm still not there yet, but I was able to speak. And you know what he told me? You know what this italki teacher told me? Wow, like your grammar is really good. I mean, even like now, like I just think about that, I'm like mind blown, because you know, like, because everyone always tell me like German grammar is so hard, and then here's this German native speaker telling me like, wow, your German grammar is really good, you have a really great foundation. And I'm like, so you guys, it's really about the story you tell yourself. You can buy into the story of what others tell you, or you can create the story yourself of like how you see yourself in living your own life, how you see yourself being able to speak these languages, or whether or not you will learn a language. Really, the only limitations that exist are those that we impose on ourselves or that we accept from others. Now, there was one thing though, I did sort of struggle with the comprehension part of it, but guess what? I'm going to start affirming into my reality, you guys. You know, okay. So the thing is, it's all about affirmation and the story you tell yourself. Now, do you have to believe this affirmation or the story you start telling yourself? No, you don't, because it's the constant repetition of repeating these affirmations or this new story to yourself that will eventually manifest itself into your new reality. It will become your new self-concept, your new self-image, and the one that you were entertaining, it will start to shrink and diminish, because you're no longer focusing or placing all your energy into the negative. Rather, you're redirecting your focus into the positive, and eventually that's what will grow, that's what will expand, and the rest, the negative, it will diminish and eventually disappear, and the new like positive affirmations and story will become your new reality. So you guys, it's really just affirming and telling yourself a new story. If you know, thinking it is work, I mean, you can put in the work of thinking and affirming new things, or you can just spend the rest of your life struggling and settling and just, in my opinion, working even harder trying to accomplish something, when really like all the work, it starts within. So why work harder? You know, work smarter, not harder. Work on yourself, because it does start within. It sounds so cliche, but really it's just inner work. So you guys, I really hope this video helped. Trust me, I totally know that sometimes it can be discouraging if you're coming from that space of negativity, because like I said, there are other parts of my life that I'm still sort of struggling with and doing my best to push through and just like redirect my thoughts and focus. But you know, it's the constant repetition of it, and I'm living proof of that, because German, I can actually speak some German now, you know, and here I am 6-7 months later, and it's pretty good. Okay, so you guys, if you ended up finding this video helpful and would like to see more videos on like the law of assumption and manifestation, let me know in the comments below, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos each week. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay.